But November 2nd's coming. We've had tea parties and we've had meetings, and this has served, I'm going to kind of fall back on my military experience here. This has served as sort of a boot camp of sorts. It's helped to educate, motivate, and activate. But the battle's on. This is a real battle. Come November, one side is going to win and one side is going to lose. Either we're going to be able to restore some constitutionality back into our government, or we're not. Showing up at a tea party is great to educate, motivate, and activate. But it's only boot camp. I got a lot of volunteers that like to come out sometimes and help me do different things. And what I like to call that is that's when you put the boots in the battlefield. Right now we have state legislators who are attempting to reassert our sovereignty from this healthcare law and from other things as well. But you know what? They need more help. And the way that we can help them is to make sure that we focus on state representatives and state senators and governors and attorney generals and even auditors, state auditors too, to make sure that they're all unified to stand up and shut the federal government down when they reach beyond their constitutional jurisdiction. That's what it's going to take. Any combat vet will tell you this, that whenever you go into a battle, whenever you go onto the battlefield, whenever you're trying to secure your objective, what you want to do is you want to take the high ground, because the high ground will give you the advantage over the rest of the terrain. Once you're on that high ground, you can shoot in any direction and hit something. The high ground to save our republic, I am telling you right now, just based on what's in the Constitution, the high ground is Jefferson City for our state. We sent over 1 million people to Washington, D.C. last September. What do you think would have happened in Jefferson City if 100,000 people would have showed up there? We have state legislators who they need to know, they need to be aware and informed that they have more power than they think that they have. And they have more responsibility too. They have to protect us from our federal government for those times when the federal government reaches beyond its constitutional jurisdiction. Our high ground is going to come in Jefferson City. But we've got to put the boots on the battlefield and go to work. There's people here, you probably live, I know I do. You probably don't live more than an hour from your state senator. You probably don't live more than half an hour from your state representative. They are the easiest people to get a hold of. That is where the most pure form of representation is going to lie. So if we can just go to work and take back Jefferson City, and all the other states start doing it as well, and they are. Other states are catching on, and they're doing it. There's a huge movement moving its way across America. We can take this country back, but it has to start at the local levels and move its way back up right into Washington, D.C. until we shove them all out. The Constitution is so important. And I'm almost done here, but I'm just going to say a couple more things about the Constitution before I walk off. The Constitution is a contract between our government and us to protect our rights and our freedom. And they're playing games with it, and they're playing games with the blood of American troops. Last year, Nancy Pelosi slipped a hate crimes legislation into a defense spending bill in order to bribe conservatives to vote and take away our free speech. And it worked. My father is a Baptist preacher, and he's probably got more sermons on the internet right now, probably enough that might send him to jail or at least be used against him in court just because he's preaching from the Bible. Because some of it might be perceived, and that's the word that's actually in the legislation, perceived to be hateful. Whenever we go to a town hall meeting, whenever we go confront an elected leader, our state representatives, whenever you have them over for dinner, they'd probably love it, question them about the Constitution. Don't talk to them about different policies, what it's going to do to your taxes. Don't question them about the accessibility of health care or Medicaid. Quiz them on the United States Constitution. Find out what they're made of. Thomas Jefferson said, though written constitutions may be violated in moments of passion or delusion, they furnished a text to which the watchful eye may once again rally and recall the people. Don't be persuaded by the tickling of your ears of the Republican or the Democrat Party. Because now is not the time to be recalled and rallied to any particular party. Now is the time to be rallied and recalled to the United States Constitution. He also went on later on and he said this. He said, "Let no more be said of confidence in man, but bind him down from his mischief with the chains of the Constitution." That Constitution is a chain to bind down our government, but that Constitution was ordained by we the people. That Constitution wasn't ordained by our government. The government is a product of us. Try to get out of the wind a little bit. I don't know if I can. "Let no more be said of confidence in man, but bind him down from his mischief with the chains of the Constitution." That Constitution has to have a voice. If we're going to have any hope for our Constitution, if we want to strengthen that chain, we have to give it a voice. And it's not going to come from the leadership of the Democrat or Republican parties, per se, because by the Democrats calling attention to the Constitution, what they're doing is they're calling attention to the rules that they've been breaking. If there's any hope for us, it's for us to learn and educate ourselves on the Constitution, the principles, and the Declaration of Independence. Because really, all of our hope for our freedom, Ronald Reagan said it best, this is the last bastion for freedom on the face of this planet. There is nowhere else to escape to. So it really does come down to us. There's still a reason why foreigners from every country in the world want to come here. And it's because we have the freedoms that are guaranteed to us, protected for us by our Constitution. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is, like he said about rallying and recalling to the Constitution, don't get rallied and recalled to anything else. Don't be fooled. It's really easy. Politicians try to do it all the time. They try to fool you with their false sense of patriotism. They wear their flag lapel pins and they think that that's good enough. There's a Democrat congressman, used to be from Texas. This is the last quote I've got, and then I'm walking away. Think about this and think about how profound it is. He said, "I prefer a man who will burn the flag and wrap himself in the Constitution than a man who will burn the Constitution and wrap himself in the flag." My name's Paul CURTMAN.